Hey everyone, welcome back to the Bible reading plan. We're in chapter 4 today, and as you see, I'm currently traveling today, but I think it's very interesting, this part of the chapter. In verse 10, Paul is talking to the Corinthians, and he's basically saying, you are saying you are living one way, you are talking love, but you're not displaying love, you're not living it out. And he says in verse 10, we are fools for Christ's sake, but you are wise in Christ. We are weak, but you are strong. You are held in honor, but we are in disrepute. He's telling the Corinthian church, us apostles, we are being slandered for the name of the gospel, but you are being held in honor. And he's saying, you consider yourself wise, but we consider ourselves foolish and or weak. And I think it's a showing that the Corinthian church, they're talking it up like they are living right, but they're actually not. And he goes on to say, we are fools for Christ's sake, but you are wise. And then in verse 11, for the present hour we hunger and thirst, we are poorly dressed and buffeted and homeless, and we labor, working with our own hands. We revile, when reviled we bless, when persecuted we endure, when slandered we entreat. We have become and are still like the scum of the earth, the refuse of all things. I do not write these things to make you ashamed, but to admonish you as my beloved children. He's saying, I'm not writing this to shame you, but I want you to know that you need to be living it out, not just saying it. And then in verse 16 he says, I urge you then be imitators of me. He says he's confident in his own walk with Christ to say, you can be an imitator of me as the spiritual father, as the one who began this church. He says, when I face persecution, this is what happens. And he says, you were running from persecution, you were staying in comfort. And I look at this and I see the American church and I say, would he say the same thing about us? You're held to an honor. Here, people call themselves Christians because that's the cool thing to do. But back in Paul's days, when they were persecuted, you would not call yourself Christians just to be cool. Instead, being Christian was something that, as he says, like the scum of the world. So Paul ends this with verse 21. What do you wish? Shall I come to you with a rod or with love and the spirit of gentleness? So he's saying, are you going to actually live this out, or are you just going to be speaking it? I think in our lives it's so easy to speak it, but not truly love. Love is an action. Love is a way of life. It's not just a way we talk or a way we order our words. So I would encourage you today to go out and live in love. Live in the love you've been called to live. Love others. Serve Christ in your actions. And that might bring you into hard times, but it doesn't matter. That's what you've been called to do. So when you get to heaven, God says, well done, my good and faithful servant. And you've built a life that is storing treasures in heaven, not of this world. So yeah, thank you for joining me in 1 Corinthians chapter 4. Hope to see you tomorrow. Bye.